I suspect we need to see a correction that is meaningful enough to establish something like 5 to 10% upside to base, particularly when you bear in mind the way that some of the quantitative strategies, systematic strategies are starting to unwind, and just how extreme the investor euphoria was going into all of this. So I doubt very much that this is just going to be a 1 or 2 day phenomenon. I suspect it's going to be more long lasting. Where we're starting to see earnings revisions moving south, and again that speaks to the idea this is going to be quite a long lasting correction. So I think where's defensive, actually you were covering the markets in Singapore. I think ASEAN, Singapore and Thailand, that's not over-owned, it's not tech heavy, it actually speaks more to the upstream energy sectors. I think those markets can be somewhat defensive in this sell-off, and we think North Asia is where the price action will be most severe.
This is actually quite a technical sell-off. What we've seen is a rise in volatility. That rise in volatility it's sort of in a way that we've never really seen happening before. It's because there's been a lot of people over the last 5 years sitting there selling volatility for income. And as that resets higher, basically what it means is that positions have to be taken down. So we think that overall there's probably another 5% lower in this market.
What we're seeing here is a bit of a resurgence in late cycle cyclical inflation. I mean, I emphasize cyclical inflation because the secular trend in inflation is still down. We have very strong disinflationary forces, but that's the long-term trend. But near-term, there is a pickup in inflation and a bit of nervousness as to how central banks, particularly the Fed, are going to respond to this.
I think there'll be a knee-jerk reaction, so you can expect markets maybe to be down 2, maybe 3%. But also in the back of people's minds is there hasn't been the irrational exuberance in this part of the world that we've seen in the West. So there is no kind of inflated levels of valuations, and I still think there's a good bedrock of investors who remain committed to the market and won't have a knee-jerk reaction that they must sell.